Dear friends, welcome to I.E.L.T.S and Toefl Training Center. Is American I.E.L.T.S and Toefl Training Center. I.E.L.T.S International English as Level Testing System. Toefl Test on English as Foreign Language. Writing and Speaking Task Development or Skill Development class. Here we have taken these essays from Lingua Forum Essays and Dream Tech Publications. We have come here to the video number 55. See here in I.E.L.T.S and Toefl, in I.E.L.T.S when you go for task 2 writing, you have to write minimum of 250 words. Minimum of 250 words. And in speaking task you have to speak almost for 2 minutes continuously with all these points. So here how these writings are arranged, you see the question and according to the question you go with the answer. See the question here, agree or disagree questions. So these are something debatable topics like some people, see the topic here, some people prefer means choosing either one, this or that. So some people prefer to prepare and eat meals at home. So home cooked food, some people prefer, they love it to eat home cooked food. And other people, some other people would rather eat at a food stand. They like to eat in a restaurant or a food stand, or which place do you think is better? So out of two places, home cooked food or eating in a restaurant, which do you think is better? Use specific examples. He says to use specific examples and reasons. What are the reasons? And to explain your answer. So home cooked food is good, or eating in a restaurant or an eatery, is it good? Yes. Able to understand, madam, question? Restaurant or home cooked food? When in a hurry, life in city is a hurry-burry life, isn't it? Life in a city, it is highly materialistic. Life in a city, it is well planned and programmed. Run. So within stipulated time, you have to do a lot of work. So life in a city is a hurry. When in a hurry, he says, when in a hurry, see how the writer has written this article or this essay, when in a hurry or meeting with friends. So in a hurry or meeting with friends, I sometimes eat at a restaurant. So when in a hurry or when with friends, I eat at a restaurant. On the whole, in total, however, anyway, I prefer to prepare and eat meals at home. So the writer says, no, even though I eat in hotels and restaurants at times, but I prefer to eat at home for reasons of convenience. He says it is for convenience. Convenience means what? Comfortability. Hygiene, the food hygiene. Hygiene means what? It should be clean and good. And healthfulness means what? Considering my health, it is always good to eat in a home, eating the home cooked food rather than eating in a restaurant. So in introduction part, he has clearly told that he prefers home cooked food rather than eating in a restaurant or in a eatery. So with 3 lines, almost 30 to 35 words, he has told his introduction. And coming here for his explanation, see here, they are asking you to use specific examples, particular examples and reasons to explain your standpoint. What do you stand for? Eating the home cooked food or eating in a restaurant, which is best? So he's asked you to give examples and reasons for your answer. So introduction part, this gentleman has told what? Hurry-burry, when meeting with friends, I eat in a hotel or restaurant, but I prefer eating in home cooked food because of one reason. What is that? It is health and for hygiene and for convenience. So 3 reasons he says. Then he comes to the main point. There is no need for meals to be elaborate. Elaborate means what? To explain. Some fruits, some canned fish. What do you mean by canned fish? Fish which comes in can is called canned fish. Okay, and a slice of bread. Suffice. What do you mean by suffice? It's enough. So fruit, canned fish, then slice of bread. Suffice. It's enough for a meal. This is enough for a meal. Meal means what? The time you take the food meal. Thus I reduce my time spent at meals. So he reduces, so he doesn't take much of time for taking his meals, and can even do other things. He can do some other things also at the time of eating. The fruit, bread, and with canned fish, he does some other work. What does he do? Such as working at a computer while eating. So while eating, what does he do? He also does some other work. So this is enough. So he doesn't give much importance for food. Now coming here in the third paragraph, what he says, then there is hygiene. So he says the quantity of food, then he comes, he says he eats and does the work. Then he comes here to say hygiene, the point of hygiene. To consider on several occasions. So he says, I have become very ill after eating meals. Eating meals where? At a restaurant or a cafeteria. So at a cafeteria or a restaurant, after eating, he became sick. That's what he says. The food doesn't suit him. One never knows how food at such places has been prepared. He also is wondering and saying how the food is prepared. Over here he is quite confused. It may be prepared. He assumes the food may be prepared under highly unsanitary conditions. What do you mean by sanitary? Pure, clean, unsanitary conditions. So he assumes the food is prepared in unsanitary conditions. That's the reason why he gets ill. So that anyone who eats it becomes sick. So he says anybody who eats the food becomes sick. On the other hand, so one other thing he says, one can prepare food much more carefully at home and can be sure to avoid contamination. What do you mean by that? He says the food prepared in a hotel may be unhygienic, and he says in the other hand means what? The other side. If you see the food which is prepared in home, you can avoid contamination. What do you mean by contamination? Pollution. Contaminations, getting spoiled, contamination. So he says compared to home food and house food. Second point, he comes to the hygienic point. Then finally he comes to the point, finally some food served at restaurants and food stands. He says the fast food stands and the restaurants, the type of foods he is coming here to the point, may be unhealthful. He says it may be unhealthful. It may be made of inferior ingredients. What do you mean by ingredients? All the inputs which you put to prepare the meals or prepare the food. Ingredients. Can you say an example for ingredients? Vegetable. Then what else? Oil. Then chili powder, salt. Everything is called ingredients. And high in saturated fat. What do you mean by saturated fat? Saturation. What do you mean by saturation? Saturated fat. Unwanted, you can say saturated. Something which has reached the point, after that it is not of use. Saturated. The life is over. Saturated fat. That wasteful fat. And other harmful substances. So saturated means life is over. Spoiled items. At home, one can choose ingredients and prepare meals with close attention to their quality. So he says that with quality, you can take the ingredients and prepare in your home. But in a hotel or in a restaurant, the saturated, the unwanted, the waste, the expiry date is over for certain products. So they use it as an ingredient. The result is a low-fat diet which reduces the risk of health problems. So he says, comes here to the point, high fat contents are there with a hotel food, but in home cooked food you can take the ingredients with low fat, so health problem, risks of health problems is less in home cooked food. Then coming here to the conclusion, he says, for me, then, see commas here, for me, then, meals prepared and eaten at home are preferable to meals at restaurants or food stands. So conclusion is reaffirming the introduction part, and he says home cooked food is better than restaurant food. At home, one can eat a meal without wondering how it has been prepared. So when you eat the food in a home, you can be very sure the food is prepared in a good healthy condition, good hygienic condition. But in restaurant, we don't know how the food is made, where the ingredients came from, where the ingredients. When you prepare in the home, you can buy the products in a a very good shop, so you're guaranteed that food is going to be good, but we don't know much about the restaurant food and can save time and money besides. He also says that money is also one part which is saved. Restaurant, you take a same idli, you can get it for 1 rupee. Same idli, one idli is 5 rupees in a hotel. Then you go in for a middle class hotel, then it cost you 20 rupees. You go to a 5-star hotel, how much is one idli cost you? It almost cost you 100 rupees. Same idli costing in different ranges. So in home, it almost comes to 50 paise or 60 paise. So money is involved in preparing the food. So eating in the home is always best. That's what he says. So my dear friend, the topic here is home cooked food is good, hotel food or restaurant food is good. So the author starts with an introduction, then he goes about first he says about he can do work and eat. Number second point he says about the hygienic conditions, and third point he says about the all type of the ingredients which is used for cooking the food, and finally he comes to the conclusion that stating that yes, definitely it is home cooked food is best. And he also says besides one other point. What is that? Money point, the finance point, he says. And with this he concludes. So my dear friends, I request you to come one by one and present if you are given a topic like this in IELTS, and how you are going to speak or how you are going to write, and go on your own, state examples, state reasons. It's not necessary for you to go in for the same topic. You can go for against the topic according to your wish. That is hotel food is best or home cooked food is best according to your choice. Shall we start? Yes. What's your name?
My name is Jubia Koshi.
So what do you do?
I'm a nurse.
Which country are you planning to go?
I'm planning to go to New Zealand.
Okay, what's your profession is a nurse. You're going for studies or for job?
For studies.
Okay. Could you tell some of the restaurants in your place? Famous restaurants?
Meridian.
Okay.
The Red Chilies.
Fine.
The famous restaurants.
Okay, see the topic here. It's a wonderful topic. What do you prefer? Go eating in your home. Which food do you think is best for you, best suitable for you? And just add your views.
I will say that eating in the home is the best food, because as we know that nowadays today all of the restaurants, like the many restaurants come like Red Chilies, Meridians, so they are famous restaurants. So they will be using many of the many types of food they be serving, and we are because of our lack of our time, and we may prefer to have food in the restaurant, but behind that we don't know what's the real problems are going. We just don't know what are the ingredients what they are using, and it is hygienic food or not. So we don't know usually it is healthy food for our lives. So it's better to prepare food in our homes, so that we can say that it's healthy food. It will be more hygiene, and without thinking also we can eat the food. So I will say that eating food in preparing the food in home is a better way. And also at restaurants there will be some restrictions, but that which type of food we want. But in the home, if we can have variety of foods, like we can choose, we can make any foods which is our pleasing. So it's also a way that we can use the food and we can eat the food which is in our convenience. And in restaurants it may be high prices of for all the foods, the prices will be very high. So we feel like buying the variety of foods, it will be difficult for us. So if we will make the food in our home, it will be less price, it will be more convenient for us to eat. So I'll prefer to eat at the home itself. Thank you.
Ms. Koshi, feedback regarding comments about your speeches. You know, the space, the flow of words per second should be increased. voice modulation, same type of tone voice is there. You have to go up and down, and new vocabularies, pauses, a lot of pauses are there that we have to correct, right? Okay, madam, please come. Could you introduce yourself?
Okay. I'm Lavanya. Studied B Aeronautical, planning to go abroad in UK for studies, and I'm coming here for I.E.L.T.S academic.
Good. So restaurants or home cooked food, what's your point of view?
Okay. I'm going for home food only because in restaurants we don't know how they cook, how they clean the ingredients, how they prepared, and how they wear the costumes and aprons and everything they are washing or not. They are serve it as without clean, without very dirtily. They will clean, they will approach to us. So in our home means we can preserve, we can cook it, and we can make it whatever we want, we may do it, and we eat anything in our home. But in restaurants and food stands, the so many air pollutions are occurs in our cities nowadays. So the pollutions are in maybe it may be on the foods, so it occurs some cause, it causes some problems, food poisons like this and everything. So in our home means we can clean and wash it, and without pollution we can eat, and we can with our convenience and with a hygienic, we can eat anything in our home. So I preferred only the home food is the best. Thank you.
Good, it's a better performance. You try to improvise, right? Okay, sit down, take a seat. Dear friends, I.E.L.T.S and Toefl சர்வதேச அளவிலே ஆங்கிலத்தில் பேச்சு, எழுதுவது, வாசிப்பது, கேட்பதனுடைய பயிற்சிகள், இது பரீட்சைகள். Toefl, test on English and foreign language, writing, எழுதுவது, speaking, பேசுவது. இந்த லிங்குவா ஃபாரம் கட்டுரைகளிலிருந்து ட்ரீம் டெக் பப்ளிகேஷன் அச்சகத்தின் மூலமாக வீடியோ நம்பர் 55, அக்ரி ஆர் டிஸ்அக்ரி கொஸ்டின்ஸ், ஏற்றுக்கொள்வாயா ஏற்றுக்கொள்ள மாட்டாயா, விவாத ஒரு தலைப்பு வருகிறது. உதாரணத்திற்கு, சம் பீப்புள் ப்ரிஃபர், சில மனிதர்கள் விரும்புகிறார்கள், டு ப்ரிப்பேர் அண்ட் ஈட் மீல்ஸ் அட் ஹோம், வீட்டில் சமைத்த உணவை சாப்பிடுவதற்கு சில மனிதர்கள் விரும்புகிறார்கள். அதர் பீப்புள், மற்றைய மக்கள், would rather eat at a food stand. ஃபுட் ஸ்டாண்ட் என்றால் என்ன? கடைகளிலே, ஹோட்டல்களிலே, உணவு விடுதிகளிலே சாப்பிடுவதை மற்றவர்கள் விரும்புகிறார்கள். சில மனிதர்கள் வீட்டு உணவை சாப்பிட விரும்புகிறார்கள். சில மனிதர்கள் கடைகளிலே, ஹோட்டல்களிலே, விடுதிகளிலே சாப்பிட விரும்புகிறார்கள். which place do you think is better? இதில் எது சிறந்தது என்று நீ நினைக்கிறாய்? யூஸ் ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ், குறிப்பிட்ட உதாரணங்களுடன், அண்ட் ரீசன்ஸ், விளக்கங்களுடன் நீ விவரிக்க வேண்டும் உன்னுடைய பதிலில். ஸோ உணவு, வீட்டு உணவு சிறந்ததா, ஹோட்டல் உணவு சிறந்ததா என்பது தான் தலைப்பு. ஸோ இங்கே டாபிக் பாருங்கள், இங்கே எப்படி எழுதியிருக்கிறார்கள் முன்னுரை. when in a hurry, வேகமாக, or meeting with friends, நண்பர்களை சந்திக்கும் பொழுது, I sometimes eat at a restaurant, நான் சில சமயங்களில் உணவு விடுதிகளிலே சாப்பிடுகிறேன், நண்பர்களை பார்க்கும் பொழுதும் அல்லது அவசர வேலையாக இருக்கும் பொழுதும். on the whole, ஒட்டுமொத்தமாக, however, எப்படியாயினும், I prefer to prepare and eat meals at home, எப்படியானும் நான் வீட்டில் சமைத்த உணவைத்தான் விரும்பி சாப்பிடுகிறேன். for reasons of convenience, என் சௌகரியத்திற்காக, hygiene, என்னுடைய உடல் நலத்திற்காக, சுத்தத்திற்காக, உடல் நலத்திற்காக. ஸோ இந்த 3 தலைப்புகளில் அவள் சொல்கிறார். கன்வீனியன்ஸ், என் அவசர நிலை காரணமாக, ஹைஜீன், உடல் நிலை காரணமாக, சுத்தமாக இருப்பதற்காக, ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்னஸ், 3 காரணத்திற்காக. ஸோ there is no need for meals to be elaborate. மீல்ஸ் டு பி எலாபரேட் என்றால் என்ன? குழம்பு, ரசம், தயிர், பாயசம், வடை, வப்பளம், அப்படியாக மிகப்பெரிய சாப்பாடாக இருக்க வேண்டிய அவசியம் இல்லை. சம் ஃப்ரூட், சில பழங்கள், சம் ஃப்ரூட். கேன்ட் ஃபிஷ் என்றால் என்ன? இந்த டப்பாவில் அடைக்கப்பட்ட அந்த மீன்கள். அண்ட் எ ஸ்லைஸ் ஆஃப் பிரெட், ஒரு ரெண்டு துண்டு ரொட்டி சஃபீஸ்னா போதுமானதாக இருக்கிறது. ஃபார் a meal ஒரு உணவிற்கு இது போதும். thus I reduce my time spent at meals. நான் என்னுடைய நேரத்தை சாப்பிடுவதற்காக எடுத்துக்கொள்ளக்கூடிய நேரத்தை குறைத்துக் கொள்கிறேன். and can even do other things. மற்ற விஷயங்களும் செய்யலாம். such as working at a computer. அப்போ சாப்பிட்டு கொண்டே நான் கம்ப்யூட்டர்லே வேலையும் செய்யலாம். ஸோ இந்த சாப்பாட்டுக்காக அதிக நேரத்தை நான் எடுத்துக்கொள்ள மாட்டேன். சிறு தொண்டு ரொட்டி, ஒரு மீன், சில பழங்கள் எனக்கு அது போதுமானதாக என்று சொல்கிறார். இது அவருடைய கன்வீனியன்ஸ், சௌகரியத்தை எடுத்து சொல்கிறார், கன்வீனியன்ஸ். அடுத்ததாக தென் தேர் இஸ் ஹைஜீன். ஹைஜீன்னா உடல் நலத்தை பற்றி சொல்கிறார். to consider. On several occasions I have become very ill after eating meals. நிறைய தடவை ஹோட்டலில் சாப்பிட்ட உடனே உடல் நலம் குன்றிவிட்டது. at a restaurant or a cafeteria. கேஃபிட்டீரியா அல்லது ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் என்பது ஹோட்டல் என்று சொல்கிறோம். அப்போ நிறைய தடவை ஹோட்டலில் சாப்பிட்றதுனால என் உடல் கெட்டுவிட்டது என்று சொல்கிறார். one never knows how food at such places has been prepared. அந்த விடுதிகளிலே, அந்த உணவு விடுதிகளிலே எப்படி உணவு சமைத்திருக்கிறார்கள் என்பது நமக்கு தெரியாது. it may be prepared under highly unsanitary conditions. unsanitary என்றால் என்ன? unsanitary. sanitary என்றால் சுத்தமான, unsanitary என்றால் அசுத்தமான சூழ்நிலைகளிலே அந்த உணவு சமைக்கப்பட்டிருக்கும். so that anyone who eats it becomes sick. யாரெல்லாம் அந்த உணவை சாப்பிடுகிறார்களோ அவர்கள் உடல் கெட்டுவிடுகிறது. on the other hand, வேறு வகையில் பார்க்கும் பொழுது one can prepare food much more carefully at home. வீட்டில் இருக்கும் பொழுது ஜாக்கிரதையாக உணவை சமைக்கலாம். and can be sure to avoid contamination. contamination என்றால் என்ன? நோய் கிருமிகளை எல்லாம் அகற்றிவிடலாம். ஸோ உணவு வீட்டில் தயாரித்த உணவு மிகச்சிறந்தது ஹோட்டலிலே சமைத்த உணவை விட என்று சொல்கிறார். finally, இறுதியாக some food served at restaurants and food stands may be unhealthful என்றால் ஆரோக்கியமற்றதாக இருக்கும். ஸோ மூன்றாவது டாபிக் வருகிறார், ஹெல்த்ஃபுல்னஸ், உடல் ஆரோக்கியத்தை பற்றி சொல்கிறார். it may be made of inferior ingredients. ingredients என்றால் என்ன? சமைப்பதற்கான மூலப்பொருட்களை இன்கிரிடியன்ஸ் என்று சொல்கிறோம். அரிசி, காய்கறிகள் இவைகளை எல்லாம் இன்கிரிடியன்ஸ் என்று சொல்கிறோம். எண்ணெய் and high in saturated fat. saturated fat என்றால் என்ன? அதிக கொழுப்பு சக்தி வாய்ந்த உணவுகளை ஹோட்டலிலே சமைத்து கொடுக்கிறார்கள், கொழுப்பு நிறைந்த. and other harmful substances. at home, வீட்டிலே one can choose ingredients and prepare meals with close attention to their quality. வீட்டிலே சமைத்த உணவுகளை அந்த சமைப்பதற்காக தேவையான அந்த காய்கறிகள், அந்த மாமிசம், அந்த எண்ணெய், அதையெல்லாம் சுத்தமான உணவிலே, சுத்தமான மூலப்பொருட்கள் மூலமாக தயாரிக்கலாம். the result is a low fat diet. இதன் மூலமாக கொழுப்பு சத்து குறைந்த உணவை உட்கொள்ளலாம். and reduces the risk of health problems. அப்போ உடல் ஆரோக்கிய பிரச்சனையிலே அதிக கவனத்தை செலுத்தலாம் வீட்டு சமைத்த உணவில். ஸோ இறுதி உரையாக ஃபார் மீ தென், எனக்கு பிறகு, meals prepared and eaten at home are preferable to meals at restaurants or food stands. அப்போ வீட்டில் சமைத்த உணவு தான் எனக்கு பொருத்தமாக இருக்கிறது உணவு விடுதிகளில் சாப்பிடுவதை விட. at home one can eat a meal without wondering how it has been prepared. வீட்டிலே சமைத்த உணவு நாம் தேவையில்லாத அச்சப்பட தேவையில்லை. எதன் மூலமாக அந்த உணவு சமைக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறது என்ற பயம் தேவையில்லை. and where the ingredients come from, அந்த மூலப்பொருட்கள், உணவுப் பொருட்கள் எங்கிருந்து வந்திருக்கிறது என்று பயப்பட தேவையில்லை. and can save time and money besides. இதை தவிர பணமும் மிச்சப்படுத்தலாம். ஹோட்டலிலே சாப்பிடக்கூடிய உணவின் விலை மிக அதிகமாக இருக்கிறது. வீட்டில் சமைத்த உணவு பணம் செலவும் சிக்கனமாக இருக்கிறது, உடல் ஆரோக்கியமாகவும் இருக்கிறது, சுத்தமாகவும் இருக்கிறது. ஸோ நான் உணவை, வீட்டில் சமைத்த உணவையே சாப்பிட விரும்புகிறேன் என்று இந்த எழுத்தாளர் சொல்கிறார். ஸோ இனி அடுத்து வரக்கூடிய வீடியோக்களில் மற்ற தலைப்புகளில் பார்ப்போம். தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச்.